This paper, as per my record, this paper is January 2023. Now, the first question, which compound contains this much molecules in 2.5 gram Avogadro is given. So carbon MR values, carbon monoxide, CO2, SO2, and this one. So can we use the formula for number of particles? Number of particles is equal to number of moles into Avogadro constant.
The answer is C.
Very good. MR into 6.02. Have you done some working on it? Any calculation?
Yeah, basically first I did 2.35 times 10 to the power 22 divided by the Avogadro's constant, which gives me the number of moles that I need. And then I calculated the moles and matched it.
And basically, then you tested for, you got the answer which is matching with SO2.
Yes.
What is the concentration of hydroxide ions in a solution containing 5 gram of barium hydroxide in 250 cm3? He has given the MR and he's asking for concentration. Actually, this concentration is number of mole upon volume. So concentration is equal to number of mole upon volume. So the plan, hydroxide ion in a solution of this. He has given me 5 gram of barium hydroxide. I can find, I have the volume now. Volume I have, and I just need the number of moles of hydroxide ions. So when you put barium hydroxide in water, barium plus 2 OH minus, and it is 171.3 and it's 5 grams. So find the number of moles of barium.
Number of moles of barium is 0.029.
0.029. Okay. You're doing 5 upon 171.3, right?
Yes.
So how much you told me?
0.029.
If it is 0.029, it will be here. It's a ratio of 2. So 2 into 0.029.
Yeah.
Then we should find the concentration.
Yes. Wait, divided by 1,000. Yeah, so you multiply that by 2 and then you divide it by 250 divided by 1,000, and it's D is the answer.
Right, 0.029 upon, its a volume is cm cube. So are you converting it into dm cube?
Yes.
by multiplying 10 power minus 3.
Yes.
Okay. And answer, you say it's matching with the D or C.
D.
A sample of 15.0 gram of vanadium reacted completely with 7.0 gram of oxygen. What is the formula of the oxide? What is the formula of oxide? So should we find the ratio? Is it type of empirical formula or molecular formula calculation?
Yeah, it should be V2O3. Basically, you do 15 over 50.9, 7.07 over 16. You find the answer, then you divide by the smallest number, and then after that, if you have like 1.5 as the answer, you just
First, we
multiply
give
them
the fulls.
by 2 and get a whole number ratio, basically, and that's it.
And if we make it like this, then what we get for vanadium?
We get 0.2945. 47, sorry, 47.
And for oxygen?
0.4419. When you divide, you get 1 and 1.5. 1.499, but yeah. 1.5. No, it's 0.2947 over 0.2947.
Ah, 0.2947.
I think you can just do this instead, right? Wait. Like you just do this, and then you divide by
I know, but I have
0.2947.
to show, I have a habit of showing the steps now. As a teacher, I
Okay.
have a habit of, otherwise you can, in the paper, obviously, in an MCQ, you're not supposed to show any working. Some space is always given, but teaching the students continuously, I got a habit because when you attend any of their physical or online workshop, they emphasize a lot on your working, on your presentation. You must have heard EDEXCEL results were there last August, this August. So people were very unhappy and they said very not very good results and everyone was suffering because in the open response and writing answers, this habit helps a lot that people feel they have done it, but they do not give a full trace. That is why even many people know the answer, many people have a concept, but they get very bad results. And you must have heard about that bad result stories. Cambridge, EDEXCEL, both suffered a lot in August. So if it is 1 is to 1.5, so should I balance it by multiplying by 2 or what should I do? Because 1.5 is not a suitable number now.
Yeah, you multiply by 2.
So it's 2 is to 3. So when it is 2 is to 3, then it should be B. What is the pressure when 5 mole of nitrogen in a container with a volume of 1.5 meter cube is heated to 500 Kelvin? We have the equation PV is equal to nRT, or we have the value of R in our hand.
nRT. Okay, it says 500 Kelvin. Okay.
Given volume is given and 500 Kelvin is given. So we
I'm
have that.
gonna convert volume into dm cube first.
No, no, no.
1. No?
Meter cube is official now.
Oh,
We are
sorry. Meter cube. Right. It's meters, not centimeter. Okay.
and we
Then
find the pressure. So let's make P the subject.
P. Okay, I got the answer. Yeah.
See what we get.
It is C, answer C. It's basically 13,850. That's the exact answer.
What pressure you are getting?
13,850 pascals.
Which is the equation for the reaction of magnesium chloride solution with sodium hydroxide solution?
Okay.
It's a neutralization is talking type of magnesium chloride solution. It's a
Yeah.
solid.
So I was gonna say magnesium chloride is soluble. That's fine. And okay, sodium hydroxide is also soluble, is it? I
Sodium
think
hydroxide is solid.
soluble, right? Okay.
And
Then
magnesium chloride is technically MgCl.
Cl. No, just yeah, Cl2, right? Okay. MgCl2 plus NaOH, I think.
You,
Yeah.
you, you, you better write in your book now, because you have a book, right?
Yeah, I do. But I'm gonna do it here first. That's fine.
But you can tell me the option you want because I got your point that MgCl2 plus NaOH.
Yeah.
So it means you are thinking to select option D because only there are two options which are viable. One
Yeah,
is
basically option B makes more sense
B
because OH2. Yeah, B.
and D is having MgO because D has only one difference. Magnesium hydroxide is solid in B and magnesium hydroxide is aqueous. So we should select B or D.
B because all hydroxide except SPCM are soluble. Sorry, insoluble.
Group 1 and group 1 hydroxides are soluble.
Yeah, sodium, potassium,
Calcium
calcium.
hydroxide is also soluble.
Magnesium hydroxide's sparingly soluble. That's what it says.
This is the point to understand that this is the point where we need to be careful because magnesium hydroxide should be sparingly soluble. If this is the point, then it is justified that aqueous condition is that's why we are not selecting D. How many neutrons and electrons are there in Au2 plus? Au is gold and it's 19079. So 79 means 79 protons and it's plus 2. So plus 2 means lost 2 electrons, 77 electrons and n is equal to A minus Z. So it's 190 minus 79. So how many neutrons we are getting?
Yeah. One. Yeah.
Neutrons.
So
And
it
electrons,
is
77.
77. 2 plus. Yeah.
the mass spectrum of an element is shown. Such a thick lines he has drawn. What is the relative atomic mass of this element? Now 90 is going percentage abundance. 90 is going till 60.
Yeah.
So yes, should I make a relative atomic mass calculation like 90 is equal to 60 upon 100 plus 91 into, is it 18 or 19? 91. Yes, right.
Yeah, sorry. Well, could you go down just to the graph? Could you like just go down a little bit?
But you have the, but you don't have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
book. You're watching on the screen.
No, I'm doing it from the screen instead.
Then
Uh,
94.
yeah, so it's 90 times 0.6, then plus 91 times 0.18. That's yeah,
94
0.18.
is going till 16.
94 is 16. Yep. 94 times 0.16. And the last one would be, is it 6? 96 times 0.06. The answer is 91.18.
So final answer is, if you add out them,
91.18.
which is the equation for the second ionization of element J? Second ionization means the release of second electron.
Yes. So J plus to J2 plus E minus.
Very good. Which is the reason why fluorine has a higher first ionization energy than oxygen? Number 9. Fluorine is the most electronegative element known.
Yeah. Fluorine atom has more protons, but it also has fewer unpaired
Fluorine atom has fewer unpaired electrons.
Only has one unpaired electron. Oxygen has two unpaired. Yeah, two unpaired.
Fluorine belongs to group 7. Group 17,
Yes.
we call it normally. Then oxygen
Yeah.
is one group before that, group 6. So if
Yes.
we compare it, fluorine atom has more electron, fluorine atom has more proton. The point is first ionization energy. Then we have to come, ionization energy depends upon atomic radius, effective nuclear charge, shielding effect.
Yeah, so it has more protons, meaning it has a greater shielding effect, which makes the atomic radius smaller and the ionization energy higher.
This is a possibility for that, number 9, if we follow that. But reason is not required, but answer is looking fine. But what about, why not C has more
Why not see?
electrons? Because
Because
number of electrons do not affect the ionization energy. Ionization energy depends upon atomic radius, shielding effect, and effective nuclear charge. How many protons fluorine has? Fluorine atomic number is 9 and oxygen atomic number is 8.
Yes, it has one more.
And fluorine and oxygen, are they in the same period?
Yes.
Fluorine and oxygen, are they in the same period? Are you sure? You can look at you can open the periodic table. If you are sitting on a table, you can open the periodic table. And it's ideal that if you print 2-3 documents, as I said last time, data booklet and periodic table and some important notes. If you select one set of notes and you should print a copy, and because mock should be attended with full energy, so some documents should be printed and keep them as a file. This mock can be a rehearsal. Then in December, you can also try that. As your school is not taking any other mock, then you also have to test yourself, which is the electronic configuration of chromium. Now, can you tell me what is the atomic number of chromium from periodic table?
Chromium. Wait, so the answer to the previous one? Answer to number 9? D, right? Is shielding effect.
Actually, shielding effect, but actually more proton within the same atom means that it has greater effective nuclear charge.
Okay.
Achha, Z. Can you tell me the Z atomic number for chromium?
Right. Chromium. Cr is oh, sorry, atomic number, right? 24.
Yes. You just need to open a periodic table.
Yeah, 24. Which means it will be AR plus 6.
No, but can you find the atomic number of chromium?
Yeah, 24. It will be, I think it's 6. Chromium's atomic number is 24.
24?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right thereafter vanadium. So I think the answer is C. Wait.
18 is there. So how much I put for till 3p6? You should remember that 18 packet. Then
Yes.
24 minus 18, 6. So 2 comes here and 4 come here.
Yeah.
Yes, now I have this picture. And do you expect the internal transition and 3D and 4s2 orbitals are full and half when they're stable?
Half, right?
Right. Element orbitals are stable only when they are either full or stable. Now, this is a tricky MCQ because this element will acquire a transition, internal transfer of electrons, and it will become 3d5 and 4s1. Can you tell me why s orbital is ready to give its one electron to 3d?
So 3D will be basically all the orbitals will be taken up by an electron, making it more stable.
And 3d will be 5 and 3d is total 10. So 3d5 is stable. S1 is also stable. So D5 S1 are stable.
Yeah.
Okay, so what should the answer? C. Which combination of ions would be expected to form the compound with the highest melting temperature? Now, this is a bit tricky one. Again, you have to see the periodic table, lithium and bromine, MgO and PB and Cl. Now, this is partly
This
memory.
was a question in our topic 3 test. The answer is MgO, but I'm not sure why.
But any reason? MgO is a famous ionic compound with
It
very high
has,
melting point.
I think it has this greater charge, like the
Double charge
magnesium has, oh yeah, big charge, I don't know. But it forms an ionic.
case of +2 -2. The melting temperature depends upon bond strength. Bond strength depend in ionic compounds. Bond strength depends upon the number of charges. This is the lattice enthalpy, which is directly proportional to the product of the charges and the ionic size separation between the charges. In easy words, melting point depends upon the strength of the ionic bond. The strength of the ionic bond depends upon the charges and the size of the charges, right? So
Yeah.
melting point, if I make a concept memory, melting point depends upon lattice enthalpy. And lattice enthalpy depends upon the amount of charge. So Mg is selected because Mg has double charge, +2 -2, which is a use of graphene based on its electrical properties. What is graphene? Is it an allotrope of carbon?
Yes.
And it's a material looking like graphite. So do you remember its properties? Like graphite, it has graphite, it has free electrons.
Yeah.
Can you remind more? Can you remind more for me? And can you use the idea electrical properties? If electrical properties are there, should I common sense cancel A and B?
Yes.
Because if something has an electrically active, it cannot be used in a drill tip. It cannot be used in a pencil. Can it be used
Yeah.
in body armor when something is in
Mm,
contact with body?
no.
So at a common sense, the answer is C.
C.
But as a
Yeah.
logic, can you define some properties of graphene with me?
It is very strong.
No, it is not actually very strong. That is fullerene. You're having slightly mixing with
Oh,
this.
okay.
Remember allotropes of carbon?
Yeah, I do.
So there are 3: graphite, graphene, diamond, and it is like this is a topic of bonding, and
It's tough, flexible, light. That's what it says.
like that. It's flexible. That's right. Okay. So we solved this question on common sense. We couldn't solve it on our knowledge of our memory. Our memory on our syllabus, but we solved it from our common sense. Which molecule has the largest bond angle? Now, this is a bit tricky question. Many people have problem in bond angles, and you also remember that there was a test in your school, and you also told me that this bond angle has some problems. So BCl3. If I talk about BCl3, will it be? Do you expect any lone pair in boron trichloride or memory? Memory is very good in such questions.
Trigonal planar.
Is
Trigonal planar.
planar with a bond angle 120. CO2.
Yes. CO2 is 180.
And it
And
is ideal if you write with me, because this is another mistake. When exams are there, people watch the solution, they do not use their hand. And when they have to use the hand in the actual exam, the hand doesn't work in that way because they haven't keep it in running. No? So that is why you will see teachers that always writing, because this is the way human brain works. So I would like that you have your book, write in the book and keep on writing. So this is bond angle of 180 degree.
The answer was CO2. This was also in the same test.
But I know, but now we are talking about our main
Yeah,
exam.
yeah,
Mock is
it's
only a reference, but actually the main exams are there. And how much the angle is here? Can you tell me? In what?
104.5 V bend shape.
Very good. 104.5. What about ammonia? Is a tetrahedral?
No, I think it was trigonal pyramidal.
Tetrahedral. Ammonia, nitrogen has a lone pair now.
Yeah,
And how much the angle? 109.
9. Yeah,
Look,
so it's
sometime
CO2.
we did some effort, but we revised the 4 most famous compounds in this article, bond angle. Now 13.
Yes, CO2 is the answer.
As you have already identified that your teacher has given some questions from here, it means the teacher is using latest paper also. And it would be ideal if you sit today, how much time you can squeeze for chemistry, and you have a paper on 15 and 16, so you make a timetable of doing yearly papers. It gives a revision also, and it gives a practice. Which molecule is polar? Polar molecules are those molecules which are Polar molecules are those molecules which have polar bonds and the polarity does not cancel out. Dibromopropane. Dibromopropane. Propane means how many carbon?
3.
3 carbon.
3
So
carbon.
1, 2, 3. This is dibromopropane. This is position 1, 2. Can you tell me CBr bond, carbon and Br bond, is it polar? Carbon is electropositive and bromine is electronegative. So can you tell me carbon bromine bonds are polar? They are polar because bromine is electronegative. Bromine is electronegative. So this is partially plus minus. But the bond, the polar bonds are facing each other.
Yeah.
So will the polarity cancel out?
Yes.
As a
They're
vector rule,
facing each other.
polarity will be cancelled out
Yeah.
or it will survive.
No, it will cancel.
It is 1,1 dibromopropane. Propene, 1,1 dibromo means that this molecule is like this. Now, this is where organic chemistry is always challenging. Achha, what about B?
What about what? B dibromo. What's E12?
Do you remember Z and E, cis trans?
Oh, okay. That one. Right.
So if it's an ethene, dibromo ethene. So let me try to model it. Hexafluoroethane. What meaning of hexafluoro? It means six fluorine.
Yes, hexafluor. 6 fluorine.
All bonds are interestingly facing each other, all polar bonds. I make plus minus on 1. Tetrachloromethane, CCl4. CCl bond is polar. Carbon is electropositive. Chlorine is electronegative. CCl bond is definitely polar. This is the practice. Then you make the compounds, even though it's take time because you in A level, it's very difficult for these questions to be judged by direct observation. Now, interestingly, I have to look them again because polarities are cancelling. I am not sure that C cannot be the answer. Why C cannot be the answer? All the polar bonds are facing each other, polarities.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm sure after drawing, C is out of race. This is also out of race. Why this is out of race? Because all
They
polar
cancel. They
all
cancel each other out.
polarities are cancelling each other. Now the game rests between A and B.
Maybe it's B.
But B is surely cancelling. There is no other member of carbon, only two carbon. If you see the diagonal, the polarities are cancelling.
Okay. Yeah. So it's only A. That's the answer.
But we need to justify how he's taking A. Answer seems to me also A, but I need a logic because BR is facing each other. Any idea? That's right. I accept. I feel you're right. I have the same opinion, but you have to help me that how should
Because
I judge?
it's not symmetrical, I think.
Very good. It is not symmetrical. This is the only reason the possibility of bond cancellation does not occur, because if I draw it again, then I can get the answer. If I draw it again, C, then I have a bromine, I have a bromine, and I have a hydrogen, I have a C2H5. And if I draw it, look this one. This is the only explanation which can be given here presently. And this was a difficult question. Prop 2 in 1 all is flammable, toxic, and an environmental hazard. Which hazard symbol should be shown on its container? Flammable, toxic, and environmental hazard. Flammable is visible, toxic is visible, but environmental hazard is shown by some branches. Now, do you remember this? That the general school provides a chart, and you find this chart in your lab also. If you people go to lab, you will find a chart there.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Flammable is quite visible. Hazard is that skeletal. But what is the difference between A and C? B is wrong because environmental hazard is not that man-shaped. The first symbol is higher. And if you closely see, you will find the trick. A and C are very close. Acha, B and D are wrong because flammable sign is not there. That skeletal, that danger sign. Have you seen this sign anytime in your life? This one is very famous. This one,
Yeah, on like uh, rat traps, I think it was there.
which contain dangerous chemical. And also, if you go to a place where chemicals are stored and you find you go there, or somewhere where high electrical systems are there, big transformer are there, so this
Yeah,
sign is on the board.
yeah.
Okay, so that is fine. This is not an environmental hazard sign. Environmental hazard. Now B and D are not question, are out of question. B and D are not are out of question. Then what is the difference between A and C? This is the symbol for environmental hazard. This is the symbol for toxic. Same here, toxic and environmental hazard are matching.
Mm, mm.
Have you people have they given you anytime this chat from the school? Any group? Do you people have any group there in your school?
Or
WhatsApp for sharing